What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, this is not necessarily a post-fight, but I will talk about the Ricky Burns last fight. Title defense, he successfully defended it. But more importantly, we all knew what this was leading up to. On my channel, make sure you guys subscribe, like the video. I talked about it. Broner and Ricky Burns is supposed to be a thing closing the year, and it's supposed to be a good, significant payday. I don't know if it'll happen in the UK or no location, no actual confirmation, but it is common knowledge that the two have negotiated behind the scenes to make that fight. Broner would have to, of course, go back down to 140. Not back down to 140, but he said he was going up to welterweight. That is not the case. He would have to stay put at 140. He missed weight in his last fight with Ashley Theophane of TMT, and he got a stoppage. Then he dealt with some legal trouble. Now, I gotta say this, man. When it comes to boxing politics, the Kiryl Relikh and Ricky Burns fight, perfect example of that. I watched the fight, and one of the judges said it was 118 to 110. Boxing is one of the only sports where the promoters and judges and referees or whoever, powers that be, openly spit in the face and spit in the fan's face, man, because it was an extremely close fight. A lot of people had Relikh winning. Some people said it was a draw. Needless to say, why would you make it as if it was that wide when it clearly, there's nothing anybody could say. I don't even know if Ricky Burns, I haven't seen any interviews, but I don't even think he would suggest, maybe he would, you know what I mean? But anybody who watched this fight, it was a competitive fight, right? Where Relikh started off good and it wasn't that impressive. To me, I was expecting a better performance by Ricky Burns leading up to a massive fight. This is not a prediction video, but I will release my prediction. Broner will stop Ricky Burns. I really believe that. Ricky Burns pretty tough, maybe go to the decision. I don't see Ricky Burns beating a guy like Adrien Broner. Too talented. Broner has a good size. He's had high level experience. I don't see Ricky Burns winning, especially after this performance. This Burns that showed up will get chopped up. Ah, man, you know, AB annihilating Burns, awesome barbecue. So it is what it is, but boxing, man, this is why I hate when they make it public knowledge that they're trying to stage future fights, because there's a future fight they were trying to make back in the day, if you guys follow your boxing, and that was Victor Ortiz versus Canelo Martin Ready Alvarez, right? And Josito Lopez made Ortiz quit and retire on the stool, so that fight was never made, and instead Josito got the shot at Canelo. So it's like damn near you have to do something like that to thwart or prevent the fight. But if it goes to the scorecards and you know, and there's a looming fight in the background, you already know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? When Kiryl Relikh, he was an undefeated fighter. That's why it's very hard to judge fighters by their resumes and stuff. Like to simply just go to BoxRec and only judge them by a number, because there's a lot of fighters where I think it was Marcus Brown recently fought the guys like Kajala Gala. I don't know exactly what his name is, but he just recently fought again on Showtime, I think, and he clearly beat Marcus Brown, and they gave it to Marcus Brown. You know what I mean? It's sad, man, in boxing, that boxing is the only sport where they do this. Canelo Lara, very competitive fight. I had a lot of winning a round or two. A lot of people did. Some people had Canelo, and that's one thing. Picking a side, like saying, oh, Canelo won an extremely close fight. But boxing is one of the only sports where they'll tell you something that's far, 117 to 111, 118 to 110, some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like if I say to all my fans and subscribers, look up at the sky, what color are the clouds in the sky? You tell me. Some people are going to say blue, some people will say gray, some people say a whitish blue, a teal. I'm okay, because that's all in the same stratosphere of what the fuck the sky will look like. You know what I mean? But if I said that and some people are saying blue, teal, and then one of the judges or one of the people answering the question was like, nah, that sky, that's a black sky. That's purple. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a green sky. That's yellow. I'm like, what are you seeing? What are you looking at? That's what we need to know. Man, that's a burgundy sky. And someone just has some far out. That's how it is with these judges' scorecards. You ask them what the sky is, you're assuming it's going to be somewhere in the blue, whitish, gray palette, and then it's something way off the mark. You know what I mean? It's brown. Like, what? Shut your dumb ass up. So, not a strong performance by Ricky Burns. to the point where it warrants it, but it is what it is. Boxing is going to do what boxing does, and a lot of times when there's fights that are looming in the background, then they'll do anything. And unless you, again, do a Josecito Lopez where there's no denying what happened, a guy quit on the stool and was retired with an injury, then you may get jobbed at the end of the fight. 118, 110 or whatever, egregious for that type of fight. It was a competitive fight. I know people who are Ricky Burns fans that would attest to that. I mean, see, that's where we got to get better as boxing fans, is stop with the favoritism and tribalism. If you like Canelo and you love what he's doing for boxing, or you love him as a fighter, and what he's doing for boxing is not necessarily a good move, like vacating the belt instead of fighting Triple G, it's okay. It's okay to admit that, you know what I mean? But some people were like, nah, he needed to get rid of the belt. That belt was heavy, you know what I mean? And start making excuses. Like, if you're a Ricky Burns fan, it's okay. He's human. He can have an off night, but call it what it is. It was an off night. He didn't look that great. And now a guy who was undefeated is no longer undefeated, has that blemish, and you know what I mean, he wasn't a big name. So now, you know what I mean, who knows what type of opportunities will be thrown his way off of that performance. Because some people, even though they have all this technology, it could be a downside. Like, people just go to your box rec, oh, Kiryl Relikh, he garbage, Ricky Burns beat him. You know what I mean? You didn't even watch the fight, and you just judging off his resume. So Broner is gonna beat up on Burns, unless Burns comes with something that I haven't really seen. But I watched enough of Burns. I seen the Ray Beltran fight. I thought he lost that fight, and they robbed Ray Beltran. Terrence Crawford beat him. I watched the Omar Figueroa fight. That's cagey, scrappy. But I mean, that's another guy with like zero defense. I'm not saying Broner has the best or the sharpest defense like a Floyd Mayweather. Clearly, it's better than Omar Figueroa. You know what I mean? He's at least like coordinated, athletic, and hand speed. So I was hoping Ricky Burns would have a stronger performance, because this was a fight that was supposed to happen, and I believed it then, and I really believe it now, that Broner, people, it's funny too, because people always talk shit about Broner. Broner's lost, his 2 losses were to good names. Sean Porter just gave the hardest hitting welterweight, or one of the hardest hitting welterweights, he gave him a good, tough fight. Some people thought Porter won. Broner has done what nobody's done and knocked Sean Porter down. You could say it's because of catchweight, but it is what it is. Sean Porter looked bewildered and befuddled, like what just happened, right? And he lost to Maidana. Maidana gave Floyd a difficult first fight. You know what I'm saying? Maidana's a good fighter. He improved his jab with a guy, and that was Broner's second fight at welterweight. And his first fight was against a non-puncher in Paulie Malignaggi, a champion, but not a massive puncher. And then the next fight, he's fighting one of the biggest punchers in Maidana. I love watching Chino fight, but yeah, I don't see it any other way. Broner, ah, man, you know, AB, on to the next one. So I don't see Burns beating him. The Kiryl Relikh, I don't think he looked exceptional. I mean, he's tough, he's durable, he has heart, but I don't see what it takes to beat Broner. You guys let me know what you think. And that's Broner. Even though Broner has discipline issues and all that, I take it when I do predictions, I take all that into consideration. And guess what? I still don't see him beating him. Let me know what you guys think. Ricky Burns versus Broner. Who will win that fight? Do you want to see it after this Relikh performance? Drop that in the comment section. Share the video. Like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.